and welcome to How to Deal When the Shit Gets Real podcast. I'm Rietta, and I'm back with my second edition of True Crime. So just checking in with y'all. So I am going to be sharing a lot more about this case in general, just on social media, and that is not anything to do with pushing my own agenda or pushing myself. It's just a lot of what I'm going to talk about and show requires visual aids, because I have a lot of documentation directly from the Paulding County Sheriff's Office. And then I do have audio, of course, as well. But I do, because I'm doing a cross-examination between audio files and actual like paper files, except they're not paper, they're digital copies of the paper. It just makes more sense for me to post most of the information onto my social medias. So they will be on both of my social medias. One is for the podcast, so it has the same name as the podcast, How to Deal When the Shit Gets Real, which is both on Facebook and Instagram. And then also on my more personal page, which will be on TikTok and Instagram, which is Cosmic Creator. And creator is spelled Creeator. So Cosmic Creator. That's because my nickname when I was a kid was Ree, so that's just where that comes from. Not just spelling it wrong to spell it wrong. Just to tell y'all what I can on here without the visual aids and without showing any sort of my opinions, because that's one thing I want to keep. I want to keep my opinions out of this because my opinion does not matter. The case matters, the facts of the case matters, and the information matters. So just to touch on what case this is, this involves a beautiful young woman. Her name is Heather Turner. There is a very large Facebook group ran by people that care about Heather very deeply called Justice for Heather Turner. So if you are also interested about learning more, you can go there as well. They are both on Facebook and TikTok. And I think they're on Instagram too, but for sure, Facebook and TikTok. Heather was found unalived on May 4th, 2017. So 7 years ago at this point. The case is still unsolved. There are arguments back and forth about whether the case is still pending or not. From everything that I have found, documentation-wise, the case is still open. If anybody has information that points otherwise, please feel free to share that with me. If you have any information about the case period and you want to talk about it, please feel free to reach out to me. Any of my platforms, email, anything. I will include all of the links to everything in the show notes. That includes links to the Facebook group that is created by friends and family and my own information. The case has been ruled undetermined. Again, there are contradictory information about if it was self-inflicted or if someone else was involved. And what I'm going to be going over in all of my posts and everything that I share is information that hopefully will help solve. Again, I'm not going to name names or point fingers because that's not my job. That's not my business. All I'm going to do is present evidence that I have, share it with the people that follow and listen to me, and let you make the decisions. And then hopefully it will reach the authority figures and people in power, and the proper decision can be made there as well. Like I talked about last week, this case fell into my lap for a reason. I was not ready or didn't realize what I was when I first had it, and now I do. And we're going to see what we can do to solve this. I would love to be able to do more on here because I love podcasting. I love my podcast. But like I said, this does require a lot of visual context, and I can't do that on here. So if you really want to be invested in this case and what is going on currently, what we already know, and what we hope to happen, please follow along. Like I said before, I can't do this alone. I need all the people to speak up and to look at stuff with me tell me what they think or feel or see of what I'm presenting. And if anybody has any connections to a forensic body language or facial expression person, I honestly don't know what the proper name or title or verbiage for that is. Please send them my way. I would love to have somebody like that on my team. And yeah, I think that's really it. I'm just here to share information about Heather. Hopefully, all of us together can get solid answers and get this case solved before it hits the decade mark. Thank you to all of my listeners who are probably like, what is going on here? This girl has never talked about this stuff before. But I appreciate you being here, being my listeners, and helping grow this case and grow the attention that it deserves. You know, not all the cases end up on Dateline or end up on 2020 or end up on Netflix. And that doesn't mean that they're any less deserving. After talking to some of the family and just some of the people that care about Heather, my heart just knew that I was in the right place and that this was meant to happen. This is my sign from the universe that this was meant to happen. So here we are. Because like I said last week, shit's about to get real.